Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the dramatic developments unfolding in the lives of our favorite bold and beautiful characters, with relationship turmoil and shocking family revelations taking center stage. The Bold and the Beautiful is heating up with relationship drama as Carter Walton and Hope Logan appear to be heading toward a devastating breakup. Their once promising romance seems destined to crumble following Carter's controversial business decision that blindsides Hope completely. The tension between them has been building for weeks, with viewers witnessing subtle signs of discord, but few could have predicted the explosive confrontation that's about to unfold at Hope's cabin. Carter's decision to meet privately with Hope at her cabin signals his awareness of how significant, and potentially relationship-ending, his actions are. During this tense encounter, Carter will reveal that he's made the monumental decision to return control of Forrester creations to the Forrester family, effectively undoing the power shift that had previously benefited Hope's position. Though he'll attempt to reassure Hope that her fashion line remains secure, his words will fall on deaf ears as Hope processes this perceived betrayal. Hope's reaction will be nothing short of volcanic. Having been kept in the dark about Carter tearing up the LLC papers that had secured her influence at the company, she'll be completely blindsided by this revelation. Her immediate suspicion will be that Carter has been manipulated or influenced by outside forces, particularly Daphne Rose, whose growing presence in Carter's life hasn't gone unnoticed by the increasingly paranoid Hope. The confrontation will escalate into what insiders describe as one of the most heated arguments the show has featured this season. Hope will not only question Carter's loyalty but will make pointed predictions about his future regrets, suggesting that his decision to surrender control will come back to haunt him professionally and personally. The emotional intensity of their exchange will leave both characters reeling and their relationship hanging by the thinnest of threads. Meanwhile, across town, an unexpected alliance is forming that promises to shake the foundations of several key relationships in Los Angeles. Luna Nozawa, fresh from receiving life-changing news about her biological father, has made the strategic decision to seek out support from someone who understands what it means to be an outsider, Sheila Sharp. Luna's approach to Sheila comes at a pivotal moment for both women. Having recently discovered that Dr. John Finnegan is her biological father, Luna finds herself in need of an ally who won't judge her complicated family situation. Her choice of Sheila is particularly significant given Sheila's notorious reputation and complex history with the Forrester and Finnegan families. The meeting between Luna and Sheila begins with Luna sharing two bombshell revelations. First, she informs Sheila that she's received a full pardon for her past legal troubles, news that initially infuriates Sheila, who has faced decades of persecution for her own misdeeds. However, Sheila's anger quickly transforms into astonishment when Luna reveals the second, more personal piece of information, that Finn is Luna's biological father, making Sheila her grandmother. This revelation creates an immediate bond between the two women. For Sheila, who has been largely prevented from developing a meaningful relationship with her grandson Hayes Forrester Finnegan due to Steffi's protective measures, Luna represents a second chance at a grandparent relationship. The emotional impact of this realization on Sheila cannot be overstated. After years of rejection and isolation, she suddenly finds herself with a granddaughter who actively seeks her guidance and support. Luna wastes no time in confiding her frustrations about Steffi Forrester's interference in her attempts to build a relationship with Finn. Sheila, who has a long and troubled history with Steffi, immediately empathizes with Luna's situation. Their shared antagonism towards Steffi creates a powerful foundation for what both women view as a potentially beneficial partnership. The formation of this grandmother-granddaughter alliance sends ripples through the community, particularly affecting Deacon Sharp. When Deacon eventually learns not only of Luna's pardon but also of her biological connection to Sheila, his reaction will be explosive. His complicated feelings for Sheila, combined with his concerns about Luna's influence, will create yet another volatile dynamic in this already tangled web of relationships. The contrast between the deteriorating relationship of Carter and Hope and the blossoming alliance between Luna and Sheila creates a fascinating study in how quickly fortunes can change in the world of the bold and the beautiful. While one partnership crumbles under the weight of betrayal and misunderstanding, another forms through shared grievances and newly discovered family ties. As these storylines continue to develop, viewers can expect to see the far-reaching consequences of both Carter's decision regarding Forrester creations and Luna's choice to align herself with one of the show's most notorious characters. The emotional fallout will likely affect numerous other characters, creating new conflicts and unexpected alliances in the weeks to come. The Bold and the Beautiful continues to deliver compelling drama that explores the complexities of family, loyalty, and power, themes that have defined the show throughout its long and successful run. With these latest developments, fans can look forward to watching how these characters navigate the challenging terrain of betrayal, reconciliation, and the ever-complicated dynamics of blended families in modern Los Angeles. Next, we will learn about the explosive family revelations and corporate power struggles that are tearing apart the fabric of relationships in Los Angeles. The drama has reached unprecedented heights as secrets unravel and alliances shift in ways no one could have anticipated. In the lavish Spencer mansion, a moment of profound transformation unfolds as Luna Nozawa completes her transition from prisoner to free woman. The elegant living room, with its imposing marble fireplace and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Los Angeles skyline, serves as the backdrop for this pivotal mother-daughter confrontation. A government official, dressed in a crisp navy suit that contrasts sharply with the warm tones of Bill's decor, hands Luna her final release documents. His stern reminder to stay out of trouble carries an ominous undertone, suggesting her freedom remains precarious despite the pardon. As the official's footsteps fade down the hallway, the mansion's heavy oak door swings open to reveal Poppy Nozawa, whose expression transforms from hopeful to stunned as she absorbs the reality of her daughter's freedom. "So, it's true. You're really out of prison," she whispers, her voice barely audible over the gentle hum of the mansion's climate control system. The tension between them is palpable, filling the space between them like an invisible wall. Luna's response cuts through the air with surgical precision. Her calculated coldness reflects not just recent betrayal but years of mounting resentment finally finding its voice. "What are you doing here?" she demands, deliberately maintaining physical distance from the woman who raised her. The question isn't merely about Poppy's presence at Bill's home but challenges her right to be in Luna's life at all after such monumental deception. The confrontation escalates as Luna unleashes years of suppressed anger, her voice rising with each accusation. "You've been lying to me for my entire life," she declares, her hands gesturing emphatically. "Finn would have loved me. You told me it was just us, Mom. That we were better off alone." Each word strikes Poppy like a physical blow, causing her to visibly flinch and retreat further into herself. Luna's expression hardens as she delivers the crushing assessment, "Your lies ruined my life." Poppy's defensive response comes from a place of maternal desperation. "Everything I've ever done has been for you," she insists, tears welling in her eyes. "You deserved better than any of the guys in my life." Her justification sounds hollow even to her own ears, a fact reflected in the slight tremor of her voice. The once unshakable bond between mother and daughter now hangs by the thinnest of threads. The conversation takes an even more devastating turn as Luna probes the depths of her mother's deception. "Did you ever believe that Bill could be my father?" she asks, her tone suggesting she already knows the answer. When Poppy admits she wanted him to be, the admission hangs in the air like a confession. Luna's follow-up question, "But deep down you knew it was Finn." Didn't you, Mom? Serves as both accusation and verdict. Luna's emotional tirade reaches its crescendo as she articulates the full scope of what was stolen from her. "I thought he was my cousin," she exclaims, voice breaking with emotion. "I begged you to tell me about my dad, and the truth was right in front of me all the time." The revelation that transforms her understanding of herself comes in a moment of clarity. "When I look at Finn, I see my father looking back at me." How could you not see it too? The question remains unanswered as Poppy stands speechless, the weight of her decades-long deception finally crushing her carefully constructed narrative. Meanwhile, across town at the Forrester mansion, a different kind of family drama unfolds in the form of corporate warfare. The stately home, with its legacy of fashion innovation and family tradition, becomes the staging ground for a counteroffensive against Carter Walton's control of Forrester creations. The atmosphere in the elegantly appointed living room crackles with determination as Ridge Forrester ends a heated phone call, his frustration evident in every movement. "This is unbelievable," Ridge exclaims, slamming the cordless phone onto its base with enough force to make the antique side table wobble. His face flushes with anger as he turns to face his father Eric and daughter Steffi. "Luna being pardoned like this, it's outrageous." The three generations of Forresters stand united in their indignation, their body language mirroring each other unconsciously as they process this latest development. The conversation quickly shifts to speculation about who orchestrated Luna's release. "It must have been Bill," Ridge declares, pacing the Persian rug that has witnessed decades of family crises. "Who else would want to?" The rhetorical question hangs in the air as Eric nods in agreement, his experienced eyes reflecting concern for what this might mean for their extended family. Steffi, ever the pragmatist, redirects the conversation to their immediate priority. "We have to focus on Forrester creations today," she reminds them, her voice carrying the authority that has made her a formidable CEO. "Today, we take back the company." Her statement serves as both declaration and rallying cry, bringing renewed focus to their shared mission. Ridge's confidence in their plan is evident as he predicts Carter's response. "I'm sure if we give him a way out, he will take it," he says, his tone softening slightly when speaking of his former friend. The complicated emotions behind his words reveal the personal cost of this business conflict, the loss of a friendship he had valued for years. Steffi acknowledges the unexpected ally they found in Daphne Rose. "She's been instrumental in helping him see what's right," she notes, giving credit where it's due. The statement carries a hint of surprise, as if Steffi herself hadn't anticipated Daphne's effectiveness in reaching Carter. Ridge's final comment before they depart for the confrontation reveals his belief that the Carter they knew still exists beneath the recent behavior. "My friend is half asleep in there," he says with conviction. "We have to wake him up." The metaphor speaks volumes about how the Forresters have chosen to interpret Carter's actions, not as betrayal but as temporary misalignment that can be corrected. In the executive office at Forrester Creations, Carter Walton sits alone with his thoughts, surrounded by the trappings of power that now feel more like burdens than privileges. The spacious corner office, with its wall of windows overlooking Los Angeles and displays of the company's most iconic designs, should represent the pinnacle of his career. Instead, it has become a gilded cage where he contemplates the relationships sacrificed for this position. Carter's contemplation is interrupted by Daphne's arrival. Her entrance is quiet but her presence immediately changes the energy in the room. "You miss him? Your best friend?" "No," she observes, cutting straight to the heart of his emotional state with remarkable perception. Her ability to read him so accurately after knowing him for such a relatively short time speaks to the connection they've developed. When Carter attempts to deflect by claiming he's trying to work, Daphne persists with gentle but firm insight. It's okay to admit this hurts, she tells him, offering permission for vulnerability that Carter rarely allows himself. Her compassion creates a stark contrast to Hope's recent demanding behavior, a comparison that doesn't escape Carter's notice. Daphne's parting reminder: when you finally give the company back to the Forresters, remember what I told you about Hope, plants the final seed that will influence his decision. Her use of when rather than if subtly communicates her confidence in what she believes is his inevitable choice. The statement lingers in the air long after she departs, forcing Carter to confront the uncomfortable truths he's been avoiding. Back at the Forrester mansion, Daphne meets with Steffi in the sunlit conservatory, where generations of Forresters have sought clarity during times of crisis. The space, filled with lush greenery and bathed in natural light, creates an atmosphere of hope and renewal appropriate for their conversation about Carter's potential redemption. Steffi's praise for Daphne's influence on Carter, "You woke up his conscience," is met with humble deflection. "I merely reminded him of what he already knew," Daphne responds, unwilling to take credit for what she sees as Carter's inherent goodness resurfacing. "He's a good man," she adds with a conviction that reveals her growing feelings for him. Steffi, ever observant, notes this emotional investment. "I can see you've developed real feelings," she comments, her tone free of judgment. Her follow-up statement offers unexpected hope: "We haven't written off Carter entirely, and neither has my family." This revelation marks a significant shift from the Forresters' initial sense of betrayal, suggesting a path toward reconciliation that seemed impossible just days ago. Daphne's concern about the approach Ridge and Eric are taking, "Are they giving him an ultimatum?" reveals her protective instincts toward Carter. Steffi's reassurance that they're extending an olive branch provides insight into the Forresters' strategic thinking. They understand that forcing Carter into a corner would likely backfire, while offering him a dignified way to return to the fold might succeed. The conversation concludes with Daphne expressing what has become her deepest hope: that Carter will listen to his conscience. Her investment in his moral redemption has clearly become personal, transcending her initial role as Steffi's ally in the corporate conflict. The complexity of her motivations, part strategic, part genuinely caring, adds rich dimension to her character's evolution. At Hope's cabin, nestled in the wooded area of the Forrester estate, another pivotal conversation unfolds between mother and daughter. The rustic interior, with its warm wooden beams and comfortable furnishings, creates an intimate setting for Brooke and Hope's heart-to-heart. Brooke Logan stands by the stone fireplace, lost in thought as she waits for her daughter to arrive. When Hope finally enters, slightly breathless and apologetic, her explanation about being held up in the carpool line at school grounds their high drama lives in relatable everyday reality. The mention of her parental responsibilities serves as a reminder of what's truly at stake in the corporate machinations: the stability and future of the next generation. Hope's direct question, "Is this about Ridge?" demonstrates her intuitive understanding of her mother's emotional state. Brooke's simple nod and poignant response, "And what happened to our life together?" convey volumes about her ongoing struggle to accept the end of her relationship with Ridge. The wistful tone in her voice suggests that despite everything, she hasn't fully let go of hope for reconciliation. Their conversation shifts to recent developments, including the shocking revelation of Finn being Luna's biological father and Luna's unexpected pardon. These topics serve as neutral ground before they venture into more personal territory, but Brooke's comment that she hates not being connected to Ridge or knowing what's going on in his life reveals the true purpose of this meeting. Despite their separation, Ridge remains the emotional center of Brooke's world. The discussion takes an unexpected turn when Hope reveals that Daphne kissed Carter, information that visibly shocks Brooke. Her mother's reaction validates Hope's own feelings of betrayal and justifies, in her mind, her desire to break them up. Hope's admission that she confronted Carter about Daphne using him reveals both her protective instincts and her fear of losing her influence over him. Hope's reflection on Steffi's role in this situation: Steffi clearly got into her head, demonstrates her understanding of the complex web of loyalties and influences at play. Her disappointment that she was so excited about her wanting to work with them, and then she betrayed her, speaks to Hope's ongoing struggle to secure her place in the Forrester hierarchy. The conversation concludes with Hope's mature acknowledgement that Carter let it happen. Not all the blame can go on Daphne. This moment of self-awareness suggests potential growth, even as Brooke offers maternal sympathy and inquires about the current state of their relationship. The question hangs in the air, unanswered but heavy with implication about the challenges that lie ahead. As these multiple storylines converge, the stage is set for dramatic confrontations and unexpected alliances. The revelation of Luna's true parentage, her newfound freedom, and the corporate power struggle at Forrester Creations create a perfect storm of conflict that will test the boundaries of family loyalty, romantic commitment, and personal integrity. In the days ahead, characters will be forced to choose between self-interest and reconciliation, between holding on to past grievances and embracing new possibilities. The Bold and the Beautiful continues to explore the eternal questions that define human relationships. Can trust, once broken, ever be fully restored? Is redemption possible after betrayal? And perhaps most poignantly, can the truth, however painful, ultimately set these characters free from the cycles of deception that have defined their lives for so long? As viewers, we remain captivated by these complex emotional journeys, eager to discover which relationships will survive the current upheaval and which will be permanently transformed by the revelations that continue to unfold.